Hi everyone, I am live, I hope. And let's see that I can see comments here on Facebook. Write a comment, okay. So I'm gonna just talk to my team real fast. So as you can tell, I'm in a tropical location. I am not in my normal office when I do these lives. I am coming to you live from St. Pete Beach in Florida, and it is lovely out, and I am in my bathing suit and cover-up. Okay, and I'm not live on Instagram, so give me 1 second. Instagram, I'm live with you now too. I've been live on Facebook. I want to know, let me see, let's let some Instagram people come on. So, as you can tell, I am not live in my normal location. I am in St. Pete Beach in Florida. Team Amy, can you see me on Facebook? Because I wasn't able to put a title on the Facebook Live. Am I live on my page or am I live on my personal page? I don't see where there's comments. So if you could just let me know that everything looks good on your side. Beth, yes. So isn't this pretty? I know, I figured I'm going right to the beach from here. So I have, this is a nice new bathing suit. It's a bandeau top bathing suit that I got on Amazon. And I love it. And then this is from Abercrombie & Fitch. And it's like a nice, here, I'll show you guys. It's a really nice beach cover-up with little slits on the side, huh? Lovely, lovely, right? I figured you'd like this backdrop. Hi, so I know I'm good on on the gram. Am I okay on the Facebook? Team Amy, can you let me know? You're good on both. Okay, so comments. So this is an Ask Me Anything. We are going to do these now moving forward once a month because you guys love it. So today's topic is Ask Me Anything about nutrition. It doesn't have to just be nutrition and fertility. It could be nutrition, just nutrition in general. And Beth, am I right? That's what we're talking about today. They ask me anything. It's a little chaotic. I got Mom and James off to the beach. We have friends coming to visit. I decided to be outside and in the tropical for you guys. So this is your moment. Okay, I'm good on both. So I see comments coming through. So it's your turn. You guys go. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to the beach. So go ahead, ask me some questions about nutrition as it pertains to fertility. Ask me questions about nutrition. You can keep telling me I look beautiful. Thank you. I see one comment from Facebook. Oh, I see, is biotin safe for fertility and pregnancy? As far as I know, yes. It's in the B vitamin family. So it's water soluble. I wouldn't be concerned about, you have to be concerned more about the fat soluble vitamins in pregnancy, vitamin A, D, K. But there is also evidence that women don't get enough vitamin A, and that really can impact their fertility and their pregnancy. So, but yes, the question is supplement related. We'll cover that on a different month. Oh, thank you. I already answered it. Sorry. Okay, Instagram. People, any questions? Someone's requested to join live. This is not my fertility hot seat. This is an Ask Me Anything on nutrition today. So I see lots of people are live. So what are your burning nutrition questions for me? Okay, here we go. What would you recommend for being on egg quality diet? Now I'm 10 weeks pregnant. Woohoo, Erica. What would you recommend to ease bloating? I am pregnant with twins. Look at you, go girl. Well, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, if you believe this diet has something to do, your pregnancy has something to do with the egg quality diet, please share a testimonial with us. Make sure you've left a review on Amazon, because that shit is real and I'm so happy for you. So ease bloating. Well, I would need more information. Are you still eating egg quality diet wise? Have you reintroduced? Are you constipated? Is it pregnancy constipation? So I would have to kind of suss all that out. Basic overview. Did you reintroduce too quickly once you got pregnant? Are you overeating on the grains and the carbs? That could make you feel bloated. 10 weeks pregnant, you are normally supposed to feel bloated in my personal clinical experience, because that's kind of how you feel. You just kind of feel bloated and full, and it's more because your uterus is expanding and there's a baby growing and there's a lot of demands on your body. Magnesium, I do think it's perfectly safe for pregnancy and is a wonder supplement. I know we're not talking about supplements, but magnesium-rich foods, potassium-rich foods. I love coconut water. I love bananas. I do love taking magnesium. I like my magnesium spray. That really seems to help with bowel movements, constipation, that type of thing. You can also take Natural Calm, which again is a supplement. We're not really talking about that. I think about bone broth for really soothing bloated bellies, eating super clean, making sure everything's cooked and not raw. That's where I would start. I do have my pregnancy and new mama guide that you can check out. It's on my website, amyraup.com/books. I think it's also in my Instagram shop. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong about that. So actually forgive me. I think it's just on amyraup.com/books. You can check out my pregnancy and new mama guide. And that gives a lot of tips for all the trimesters and actually postpartum, breastfeeding, recovery from vaginal, recovery from C-section. Lots of eating tips in there as well. I do also love Real Food for Pregnancy by Lily Nichols. Is another amazing book to think about what type of food to be eating during pregnancy. But the egg quality diet will totally sustain you in pregnancy. Oftentimes I just need to make sure they'll increase carbs a bit, like rice and maybe quinoa, things of that nature. Okay, watching from Namibia. I love it. I am live in Florida right now. 9 weeks pregnant and very constipated, on PIO and estrogen still. What food should I be eating more of or less of? So I think the same kind of thing. You know, my new mama guide does go into greater detail, but I tend to see that constipation comes from too many grains. And it could also, it's pretty normal in pregnancy. So pregnancy is such a demand on the body that the body slows down all other functions. And so magnesium is another great. Make sure you're staying hydrated. I would do lots of good healthy fats, you know, like your bone broth, your avocados. I do find things like prunes can help. Just eating prunes, don't drink prune juice. We don't want anything too loose in the bowel department, but prunes can help soothe some constipation as well. The Natural Calm was amazing for me, and then my magnesium spray, I love that, is great. Oh my God, all these pregnancies. I'm 6 weeks pregnant now after 2 failed egg retrievals and told to try donor eggs. Followed the Yes You Can Get Pregnant guide and supplements. Sorry, there's glare here. You have recommended on lives like myo-inositol and ubiquinol, etc. Thank you. I'm super hungry. Oh my God. Well, this is another pregnancy. So you guys, if these are pregnancies that you feel like I played a role in, I want email us testimonials, info@amyraup.com. And then if you've read the books, please, please, please leave reviews on them on Amazon, because this is the shit girls need to hear about, right? Snacks. I mean, the obvious hard-boiled eggs, hummus, plantain chips. I carry around like cans of pinks. The canned salmon is another good snack for pregnancy. Even some of those organic, nitrate-free beef jerky sticks, I think, are great. Any of you pregnant girls, what are you finding to be some of your favorite snacks? Like, I always loved fruit with, like, an apple with a nut butter. That's always really helpful too. Bars, like if you're eating nuts, peanuts, Lara bars are a great one. Not peanuts. If you're eating nuts, I did not mean peanuts. Peanuts are not a nut. The Lara bars are great. The macro bars. So, and we tend to want, like, creamy, texture-y, rich type of foods in pregnancy. So again, go to my new mama guide. I have lists in there, but I always recommend smoothies. You can add some raw cacao and some nut butter, some avocado, make it really like creamy. That's yummy. Eggs, if you like that, you can sneak that into pastas. You can sneak that into a homemade mac and cheese. What are some other good snacks for pregos, guys? I think just protein, as much as you can find the ways to sneak the protein in, is the key. So a lot of what you do to get pregnant is what you do to kind of stay pregnant and kind of satiate all of the needs. So I don't think the diet needs to change much from the egg quality diet. The only thing I ever get concerned about when someone finds out they're pregnant is that they're getting enough carbohydrates. Are frozen fruits and vegetables just as good as fresh? Somehow I lost that. When something says fat-free is it good to... Okay, let me start with, are frozen fruits and vegetables just as good as fresh? I think fresh are the best. Frozen can lose a little bit of nutrition, but you can still get benefits from frozen if that's all you have access to. When something says fat-free, is it good to have? It depends. Is it something that naturally has fats and they've defatted it? Or is it something like, you know, papaya and it never had fat to begin with? And so it really depends. If something's defatted, no bueno. We want real juicy fats. We want full fat milk if we're drinking dairy. We want full fat butter if we're eating butter. We want full fat cheese if we're eating cheese, right? We want full fat. The fat is so good for us. We don't want to go fat free. If I don't have as many eggs as I should have during the week, what else should I have? Is it good to have cereal for breakfast every day? I don't think so. It also depends on the cereal. A lot of cereals have a lot of sugar in them. They are processed carbs, refined grains. So I think there's one cereal out there that I let James have, and it's what is it called? Sundays. Oh, what's it called, guys? Give it to me. Someone here is gonna know. Something Sundays, and it has very low sugar. It actually has some protein in there. If he does have cereal, I also add a scoop of collagen peptides to his cereal, and I make sure he's having a good quality. He doesn't do well on dairy, and so we do coconut milk or almond milk for him. But I try to add protein to it. I do like to see that every meal has some protein, some vegetables, and some fat. So cereals kind of leave that out. But if you are noshy and need that, you can have a little bit of cereal and then maybe a hard-boiled egg, and then maybe, you know, some vegetables kind of in the mix there too. I always try to make my eggs with some spinach. That's what I had that this morning, in addition to some liver pate and plantain chips, because that's what I was craving. So, you know, cereal on a consistent basis is not going to give you the nutrition, especially the commercial cereals that are out there. Eggs, I do recommend trying to get in 2 eggs a day, especially when it comes to fertility. Eggs are very good for egg quality. They're very nutrient dense, giving you a ton of good nutrition. So I should be doing breads, granola, and potatoes now for carbs, or just veggie and fruit carbs. So Erica, again, it depends on, like, did you reintroduce those foods? Do you have any intolerances? If you were grain-free and gluten-free and then you got pregnant, I do not want you reintroducing foods you cut out in the first trimester that you're now pregnant, because you could host a response to those, and that could actually be bad for the pregnancy, right? So I would still do sprouted grains, organic, and, you know, if you were gluten-free, then stay gluten-free, right? Granola, same thing. If and I would still try to follow, in phase 4 of the egg quality diet, I go over very clearly how to reintroduce foods. So I would revert back to that. You know, there's a really clearly laid out plan on how to reintroduce. And if we don't reintroduce properly, we mess up all our good work. So it's really important to go back and read that through, even if you are pregnant. Rice is a great carb, though. That's very egg quality diet friendly. Quinoa is very well tolerated by many people, even though it's a seed. Then sweet potatoes, like you said, and I would go for fruits and sweet potatoes for your carbs as well. The plantain chips are also another great option. They're actually a fruit, but they're very carb heavy. So it is smart, like with my girls, if they're following my egg quality diet, per se, and they get pregnant, and they have been eliminating a lot of the majors, you know, like soy and gluten and dairy and nuts and seeds. As much as they may be craving them, I really urge them to stay off of those foods through the first trimester until that pregnancy is very secure, and then we start the reintroduction process. I love plantains. Okay, good. Okay, I want to go here. 9 weeks pregnant. I'm very constipated. I did that. I don't have any autoimmune disease, but have had 2 miscarriages. Would you still suggest going completely gluten-free? If you haven't tried it yet, and especially if those miscarriages are back-to-back, meaning there's no live birth in between, then I absolutely would recommend following the egg quality diet, because you might not have a diagnosed autoimmune condition, but you might have some type of an immune response to a pregnancy, and that could be it. And I would go through the kinks in the questionnaire in the egg quality diet book. So for you guys to check out my books, amyralph.com/books. Easy peasy. I have 2 on fertility, the egg quality diet, and yes, you can get pregnant. And then I do have my pregnancy and new mama guide as well. Body Belief, Chill Out and Get Healthy. Those are all my books. Yeah. So I would. If you are struggling to conceive and it has not yet happened, but you don't have any diagnosed condition, however, you're trying to figure this out, the egg quality diet is, in my opinion, and I've been doing this for just about 2 decades, and I've helped a lot of women on this process. The elimination diet and the elimination diet laid out in the egg quality diet book is going to give you a really nice framework to then go ahead and create the best diet for you, the best fertility diet for you. It is an elimination diet where you do get to reintroduce foods. So you might discover, I'm fine with gluten, but dairy is terrible for me. You might discover, dairy and gluten are fine for me, soy is horrible. You might discover, I can't do dairy, gluten, and I can't do nuts, or I can't do nightshades. I can do anything else. That's why we do an elimination diet. And I have just found in my clinical experience that this is the best way to figure out what your body needs to optimize its health, which will ultimately render not just better egg quality, but better implantation rates, better take-home baby rates, right? That's what we want. And we want you as nourished as you can be, so your cells get all the health they need so that you can do this big task of growing a human. Can FSH 90 AMH 0.01 be improved by diet? I have seen FSH and AMH improved by diet. I think it's a multifaceted approach, though. I do think that it's not just diet, it's not just supplements. There's a lot of lifestyle adjustments and mental emotional adjustments. But absolutely, I've seen both improve, and I have seen numbers, like that improve. Can beets cause bloating in some people? Potentially, sure. Some people just don't react well. Like, that's the thing. We all know ourselves. So if you can't do beets, when you make my liver support soup, which is I'm all about, and it's in the egg quality diet and in Body Belief, leave the beets out. See my question above, please. Let's see. Did I miss it? Gluten-free. 9 weeks pregnant. I answered that one. Let me see. What's your name? See my question above. Lauren's journey to be. I'm just sorry. Oh, I already answered that, Lauren. And let's see. Love plantains. How can I prepare my body? Sorry. Sitting outside was very, so good for the camera, not so good for me reading the screen. Okay, where am I? It keeps refreshing every freaking time. Oh my God. Okay, how can I prepare my body for a 6 frozen embryo transfer? That's a hard question to answer. From a nutrition perspective, I would just go as nutrient dense as possible. So my general rules of thumb are 80 plus grams of protein a day, 6 to 8 servings of ideally cooked vegetables a day. If you're eating nutrient dense protein, which is what I recommend, so wild caught fish, grass fed meats, good quality eggs, free range, yada yada, you will get the amount of fat you need. The macronutrient breakdown that I see best for fertility and for getting and staying pregnant is about 40 to 45% fat, 30% protein, and the rest carbohydrates. Do not go too long between meals. Eat every 2 hours, max every 3 hours. Do not have coffee on an empty stomach. Eat protein upon waking. These types of things. So I think that's the best answer there for implantation. If you have a food allergy test and it came back that you're not allergic, do you still need to do the elimination diet? 100%. Food allergy tests are pretty bogus. I talk about them in all my books. If you're not getting pregnant and you also are not in your most ideal situation of health, meaning you still have gas and bloating, you might have skin issues, you might have irregular periods or painful periods, the elimination diet is where it's at. Food allergy testing tests you in the moment. It is not, they're not accurate. I did a ton of research on them before I wrote Body Belief. I talked to a ton of doctors. Every single doctor says this food allergy tests are a waste of money. Every single doctor, I should say, that I respect and admire and have worked with. Some are good. There's ones from, what's the name of the... It goes through Great Plains Labs, and they're decent, but they're still nothing as definitive as doing an elimination diet.
How can I prepare, okay, for a 6-month frozen embryo transfer for good implantation? Okay, so I already answered that. Yeah, food allergy test or BS, thank you. I forgot I did a live on that, Beth. Okay, let me just see. I have to like hold this up. Okay, so that's it there on Facebook, Instagram. Let me see. 9 weeks pregnant. Yeah, Lauren, I did answer your question. I talked about magnesium. I talked about bone broth, good quality fats, eating enough, drinking enough water. I have PCOS and have eliminated all grains and dairy. I weigh 114 pounds now. When I reintroduced lentils, I got a reaction to it. What would you recommend? Should I stay completely free from grains? So I don't know what you weighed before. Like BMI is more helpful for me than weight, because it's not a clear picture for me. I don't want a BMI really under a 22, maybe a 21 max. So if you have dropped too much weight, I would try rice as a carbohydrate or a grain to add back in. That usually seems to be the best to put weight back on. I do see grains, especially in PCOS girls, being very challenging. You do better with the vegetable and the fruit carbohydrates. How much cannabis edibles impact fertility? So I have a whole video on CBD. It's not really I mean, cannabis is an herb, which I guess we could say is a nutrition conversation. I would not recommend any cannabis and trying to conceive personally, or at least very, very moderate amounts. I'm 45 and gearing up for my last round in May. I'd love to know all the supplements to take along. So we're not covering supplements today, my love. That will be, and I've covered it in previous Ask Me Anythings, right? Didn't I do that one last month, Beth? So maybe we can direct her there, because I know I talk about DHEA and CoQ10. I took birth control pill for 20 years, stopped a year ago. Can diet improve FSH? So you already asked that question. The answer is yes. Can the egg quality diet delay the start of your period? If you're not eating enough, I think it can. And I've seen that time and time again, where girls follow it and they're not eating enough. They're not following the menu exactly. They're going too long between meals. They're not hitting all of the check marks. I see constipation being common in the beginning because you're cutting out grains. And I see sometimes there's a delay in the period, especially if you've dropped weight. If your body needed to drop some weight, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And also just remember that we're not robots, we're humans. And when there's significant changes, that can impact our period. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing though. But make sure you're eating enough. Is it better to eat more plant-based protein than eating lean meat? I've heard conflicting opinions. So it really depends. I think this is a great question. It really depends on your body, which is why I recommend the elimination diet. I don't see plant-based proteins being more beneficial from a clinical perspective for women trying to conceive over, and not even just lean meat, over grass-fed meats. The argument for meat and fertility is very strong. There are a lot of omega-3 fats. There's a lot of really good quality fats. We need the saturated fats. We need all the fats for our fertility. Fat and cholesterol, by the way. So cholesterol-rich foods, cholesterol is the precursor to all of our hormones. If we don't have enough cholesterol-rich foods in our diet, our hormones are suffering. And so I think plant-based proteins can be really beneficial for certain people. Certain people, though, with genetic SNPs, specifically the FADS genetic SNP, you don't get any benefit from plant-based proteins. So you should look at your genetic data, see if you have that SNP, and that will tell you whether or not you're going to get benefit. Personally, for me, and what I see clinically, my girls do really well on animal-based protein over plant-based protein. But some girls can add back in beans and they're perfectly fine. Nuts and they're perfectly fine. It really depends on a case-by-case basis, which again is why I would guide you to following the elimination diet. My doc is very pro keto. I prefer your protocol. What do I do when he's pushing keto? Just say bless and release. you take it into consideration, but I think too low carbohydrate can be very bad for the body, especially a woman trying to conceive. So you just acknowledge and be like, yeah, I'm doing all the fats, don't talk about carbs. Yeah, I'm really hitting it on the fats, don't talk about the carbs. I'm hitting it on the fats, don't talk about the carbs. And you know, I know there are doctors out there that are super pro keto, and they are seeing success. It's mainly in PCOS girls, though, is what the research is implicating, that the lower carb better for PCOS. But if you don't have PCOS, I wouldn't, and I usually don't even with my girls. Some of my girls will go to 20% carbs, but I do not go lower than that because it seems to negatively impact hormones, as does intermittent fasting. Amy, you are glowing. Oh, I love you. We did a supplement Q&A. 7 Sundays. Thank you, Lil. If I don't have any autoimmune diseases. Okay, so you guys are asking the questions on Facebook and Instagram, and I love you. Okay, so I already answered that. Putting the weight up, I would do rice. That's what I would start with, rice and or quinoa. If I am tolerant to dairy, is there too much eating full-fat Greek yogurt? Yes, I would still limit it to a few ounces a few times a week. I talk about that, and yes, you can get pregnant. I would still limit it to, like, you know, maybe 3 ounces 3 times a week. Is it okay to do a brand coconut yogurt that's ingredients look similar to the brand? 100%, Caroline. Starting egg quality diet tomorrow. I'm so excited. How do you feel about gluten-free rolled oats after I done egg quality and body belief doesn't impact me? 100%. Do it. I tried oats the other day. I was just craving them. Oh my God. I was like a gas monster. I said food allergy testing against my general practitioner's suggestion to skip it and determined that I was allergic, and I'm allergic to certain things every single day. I've had IBS since I was 16 and I've since cured of it. That's wonderful. Great. How can you prepare my body for new stimulation IVF? You know, this is a nutrition conversation, so I'm going to direct you back to nutrition. I would look at the egg quality diet. I've seen multiple cases over the last 2 years. I mean, I've been doing that diet with my clients probably for 5 years, I'd say at least. And it's amazing the impact on the positive outcomes for IVF when previously unsuccessful, even as they're getting older. I've had 2 cases this month that had previously unsuccessful IVFs, no genetically normals. They are now older. They've just done the egg quality diet in earnest for at least 3 months, and both had amazing results and multiple PGS normal embryos after, like I said, one girl had 6 previous unsuccessful retrievals. She's now in her mid-40s, early to mid-40s, and she just had her best cycle ever. And she coached with me. Of course, we did the egg quality diet. We did a lot of mental, emotional work. But I think the results are starting to really speak for themselves. So that's where I would go. Check out my books, amyrupp.com/books. I am going to hang up on you guys. Is intermittent fasting okay? So your BMI is currently 29. So yes, if you're trying to lose weight, put trying to conceive on hold, in my opinion. Do intermittent fasting for a month or 2. See if we can get that BMI closer to like a 26, 20, 25. There are blizzards everywhere here. Okay, I'm not doing supplements. Cleaning the body from the meds. What type of food? Liver support soup. I have done plenty of videos on it. There's information in my book, Egg Quality Diet, the recipe. Liver support soup is the best thing to detox your body from meds. Thank you for your empowering work, Amy. Oh, you're very welcome, my love. Please do the diet. Oh yeah, here's one of my girls who's sitting at home holding her newborn. Please do the diet. Had unsuccessful IVF, did all the things Amy's teaches, and now sitting here with my baby girl. Thank you, my Lily. What diet, please? So it's called my Egg Quality Diet. You can find it on my books page, amyrupp.com/books. Enjoy St. Pete. This town is beautiful, girl. Can the diet help with missing periods from perimenopause? Yes, because women go into early menopause or perimenopause typically because their diet, they're not getting the nutrition that they need, so their body stops prioritizing menstruation.
and fertility. You can extend fertility with eating a high-fat, good quality, nutrient-dense diet like the one in the egg quality diet. Also, if you are dealing with inflammation in your body's also going to say, I don't have time to bleed, girl. I got to heal all these other things. My gut is a mess. These things are a mess. There's all this inflammation. The diet is going to shift that. I have seen women restore cycles. I've seen women come out of premature ovarian failure, diminished ovarian reserve diagnoses after doing this diet. I would also consider ovarian PRP. There's not a conversation about that, but I would consider it. Okay, guys. I'm going to look one last time on Facebook, and then I'm hanging up on you all because I'm going to go to the beach. I got friends coming to visit. Okay. Where are you, Amy? Okay. I'm going to go all the way down because this seems to be, it's just like skipping up. Okay. Instagram, I'll put you guys there. My doctor suggested prescribing me Clomid. Okay, we're not going to talk about Clomid. What would you advise if you need to eat healthy and well for fertility, but also need to lose some weight? I would still do the egg quality diet. Girls lose weight, especially if their body needs to. You reset your body. I would do the egg quality diet. Okay, guys, I'm going to the beach. I love you all. Have a beautiful day. Ciao for now. Ciao.